Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
What better way to say I love you than with the gift of a spatula? Spatula City! Spatula City! If you've ever given the gift of a spatula, then, yeah, boy. Hate to tell you this, but unless that spatula was made of solid gold, the gift sucked. I mean, it sucked. Let's face it. I mean, whoever you gave that spatula to, probably not even your friend anymore. Most likely that's the reason why they're your ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend, ex-husband or ex-wife. You just don't give the gift of a spatula. Okay? So what kind of gift do you give?
Oh, they're so hard to buy for. I don't know what to do. I can't buy anything.
Got a top 5 list here, submitted from Aaron. And this is the top 5 homemade gift list. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, Chris, it's January. Well, at least right now, at the time of this recording. The Christmas season is already passed. Yes, but birthdays, anniversaries, Arbor Day, Valentine's Day. There you go. Homemade gifts. Again, from Aaron. Hey, my name's Aaron. I've sent one list in before, but the holidays came to a close. I found myself thinking about the upcoming year. One thing that always gets people stressed during the various birthdays and holidays throughout the year is finding the perfect gifts for friends and family. I'm a big believer in making gifts for people. I always find that people appreciate a homemade gift. Sure, they may be asking for a Wii, but taking the time to do something special for someone is even better than just buying something, at least in my opinion. So, here's the top 5 list of homemade gifts. These are great for any occasion, and you don't have to be an expert to pull them off. Number 5, a handwritten letter, card, poem, or story. Sorry, I had to catch my breath there. This may seem really silly, but in this day and age, handwritten letters or cards are losing out to the ease of email, text messaging, and public networking sites. Why not sit down and take the time to actually compose a letter on paper? I tried to do this in college, and I found that most people really liked getting a handwritten letter in the mail. You can either just write them a letter talking about how awesome they are, or you might even be feeling really creative and compose a quick poem or short story. Either way, it will give them something tangible to read or reread for as long as they have it. That's very true. In fact, randomly, Tuxedo Jericho received a postcard from both Ponzi and myself when we were in Hawaii. We were streaming live one day, and we had an extra postcard lying around, and we said, okay, first person to post their snail mail address, which wasn't probably the most smart thing they could have done, but we trust everybody around here, would get the postcard. And Tuxedo Jericho was quick at typing. Tuxedo Jericho noted he got it today. He posted photos of that postcard. He was very happy to get it. It was a gift. It was a simple gift, but he liked it. I mean, he posted 4 photos on Flickr. He was holding the postcard. He was in love with it. It's crazy. Number 4, knit a scarf. I learned how to knit in about 1 day. The easiest thing to knit is a scarf, and once you learn how to do the basic stitch, you should be able to knit a scarf in a relatively short amount of time. To make this even easier, you can get large knitting needles and chunky yarn. A handmade scarf is just the thing for winter, and you can even make decorative scarves for people to wear even when the weather isn't too chilly. This will make knitting go even faster. There are many websites online that teach basic knitting stitches. A great place to get started is a website called learntknit.com. It's funny. There's a huge knitting community on the internet. You wouldn't think, but there is. I mean, they're largely female, admittedly, but they love downloading stitching patterns and sharing information with one another, and the internet is a great gateway. And I can tell you, one of our most favored, well, it's a possession now, but gifts from our wedding is a blanket that was knitted by Liz Lawley, and it's warm, it's wonderful, we love it. Still, to this day, it's one of our favorite blankets, and it was homemade. Number 3, framed picture or a scrapbook. Most of your viewers probably have either a digital camera or a camera phone. Heck, maybe even some of them have a regular camera with film. Either way, a great gift is the gift of memories. You can take a picture of an event that is important to them, maybe you went to a baseball game together or a party, and have it nicely framed. For the more crafty, you can even make a small scrapbook for the person. Let's say you have a group of your friends go to a Red Sox game. Forgive me, I live in the Northeast. You can take pictures of the game and pictures of your friends and combine them with clipped out articles about the game or even baseball cards of players featured in the game. It may sound goofy, but it shows a lot of thought, and it'll give your friends something to remember the event by. Number 2. This one's fun, and I know anybody can do this. Even though this sounds like difficult gift to give, there are a few basic candies that anybody can pull off and make him look like they're made professionally. Homemade candy. One of the most impressive and yet easy is chocolate bark. All you have to do is melt a bag of good quality chocolate chips of your choice, either over a double boiler or a stovetop or in the microwave. I wouldn't necessarily use the microwave. Then, when the chocolate is melted, you add about 1/4 to a half cup of nuts, dried fruit, or broken cookies. My one standby that I always fall back on is a combo of semi-sweet chocolate, mini marshmallows, and broken graham crackers. You can try out many combinations. You'll end up looking like a real expert, and your friends will love having a bag of candy all to themselves. My parents used to own a hobby shop when I was growing up, and one of the sections was plastic candy trays and chocolate. Like, they were chips, but they were chocolate specifically made for melting and reshaping into something else. So you can just buy these trays for like a couple bucks, buy the chocolate for a couple more bucks, melt the chocolate, pour it in the tray, stick it in the freezer, and then pop them out, and you've got your own customized chocolates. It's seriously, it ain't that hard to do. It's cheap, and if you find something that's you can get fancy. You can even paint it with chocolate, do different layers. It is a lot of fun. My mom used to do it a lot, and I gotta admit, I was the coolest kid in school. When I brought treats for everybody in the class, they loved me because I brought really cool chocolates. Like, oh, where'd you do? Oh, no, I made the chocolate. I just melted it, poured it in, froze it. I was good to go. Great idea. Number 1. Dinner. Inviting friends over to dinner is one of the greatest gifts a person can give. Even the most inept cook has a few basic meals that they can whip up for themselves. Ramen noodles. Why not invite a few friends over and enjoy the food together? Whether it's something super fancy or not, people appreciate the time and effort you put into the meal. A good bonus tip is, if you plan on doing this, go with something you have made before and that you know you can accomplish. Doing something new and complicated may be impressive, but the stress like this can cause it not to be worthwhile. Besides, your friends will appreciate homemade tacos just as much as they would appreciate beef Wellington. Bonus tip, if you decide to make candy for dinner, candy or dinner for your friends. Although candy for dinner isn't a bad idea. Make sure you know about any type of food allergies or dietary needs beforehand. If your friend is allergic to nuts, you don't want to make them peanut brittle. And if they're vegetarian, you don't want to grill them a steak for dinner. I know it's common sense, but it'll save a lot of trouble in the long run. Great list. Great, fantastic list, Aaron. Really appreciate this. And I guess Aaron, I don't know if this is Aaron's website, happypineapple.com. I'm just mentioning that. That's a part of the domain that she sent this from. So he or she, I don't know. He or she, I don't know. I'm just guessing. I'm guessing. This is a very thoughtful list. Extremely thoughtful list. I certainly couldn't come up with it, even though I said, yeah, I agree. So, what about you? Do you have any gift or wish list tips to share with anybody? See, this wasn't tech related at all, but it was still something we all have to deal with. We all have to deal with birthdays, right? And you know, my birthday's coming up. Don't send me anything. The only thing you got to get me for your birthday is attention. That's it. That's all I can I have your attention, please? Can I have your attention, please? Thank you. I obviously love attention. And I also love it when you swing by the chat room to participate and talk with me. If I'm paying attention to the chat room, or other people who are in the chat room. There are close to, I'm sure, 400 people, over 300 people, certainly in the chat room. About 350 people watching us live, because we stream the video and audio out every single day, all the time, and we're sharing tips and tricks. We're typically talking about technology 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.